Morning, everyone. Just give us 4 minutes. We'll slowly get started. Okay, so by the time we get started, if anyone has any questions related to Power BI, how to download it, how do we install it, feel free to ask by the time we get started.
Hi Ritesh,
Hey, Ritu. Yeah, good.
good morning. So,
Morning.
Ritesh, I have two questions. Like, one, I am unable to download SQL, and second, I'm unable to download Power BI. Both the application, I'm not able to download it.
SQL Workbench, are you not able to download it?
No, actually, when I'm going to the application, last time when you have shown, it is a
Uh-huh.
new version, right? And in the
Uh-huh.
application, like in the KSR site, when I'm going and download it, it's showing the old version. And when I'm downloading the file, the zip file is coming now. So when I'm
Mhm.
extracting, it's showing directly to the finish. But the step which you have shown in the class,
Mhm.
those steps are not come yet.
You have to uninstall that already installed SQL. Then you have to delete the folder. Somewhere in the program files, that folder would be there. You just go back and delete that folder, and then you reinstall with the older version, which I've shared, that extracted version from the zip file.
Okay.
That's
So
the
is it
SQL
there
part.
in the same application or I need to go through with the recording?
No, 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 no. It is the same steps what we follow. You just have to uninstall the existing one, delete the folder, the files which we have, I mean, what is installed. Then try
Mm.
installing the older version which we have, right? The one which I've shared. That would work. Now, for the Power BI, why is it the case that you are not able? Are you using Windows laptop?
Yeah, I'm using Windows laptop only.
Where?
But
Okay. Uh, uh,
helping.
okay. Just let's go through it. Is it possible to share your screen?
Okay, just allow me 2 minutes. I have
Yeah.
joined from my phone. Just give me
Okay.
2 minutes. I'll join it from my laptop. Just a
Fair.
minute.
Okay. Okay. Cool. By the time she's there, let me slowly start sharing the screen. Just give me a moment. Okay. Now, we'll not directly jump to the start of Power BI or the components, the user interface, what we have seen. There are few questions which, I mean, these are common questions which I would also expect in every batch. One thing, if you're using a Power BI, what you have to consider, Power BI is a product of Microsoft and it is only available under Windows operating system. If your operating system is Windows, only in that case you can download Power BI, right? If you're using Mac, Apple laptops, right? There is no possibility. You cannot download it. The only option, if you're using a Mac and you want to use a Power BI, you have to use some external operating system, maybe some additional operating system you have to download in it. There are options, right? You can download some temporary operating system. In that, you can use a kind of virtual operating system you can download within the Mac. There is a possibility. And maybe virtual operating in this system, in the sense, maybe kind of Windows only. And then you have to download the Power BI. One who are using Mac, there is no direct supportability of a Power BI. Neither Microsoft have released that version nor Mac is forcing Microsoft to have that version in their operating systems, right? So that's how businesses work, right? If you are going with Windows, they would ask you, I mean, Microsoft Power BI, they would ask you to use it on Windows only. They'd emphasize you to use it on Windows. So there is no direct Mac support. And I've got few more questions, right? Maybe on Friday we discussed it, but just to make it very clear that if you have a 4 GB of RAM, the laptop or desktop which you're using, this is still fine. See, in 4 GB also Power BI would always work, but the only question is if you're using any other application apart from Power BI. Like if you're using maybe some heavy applications like Paint or maybe VLC player or a media player, right? I mean, that's how an individual works, right? There are some parallel applications which are running in background. Except if you're using any Excel, right? Any Microsoft Office tool, that's fine, right? If you're using Excel, if you're using Word, if you're using PowerPoint, okay, because even that are product of Microsoft, they would not consume as much as your RAM as compared to Power BI. So you can still use in the 4 GB, but your other heavy applications should be closed, right? So the more focus would be on Power BI, RAM is more occupied on Power BI. Somewhere it would end up occupying 2.5 GB minimum. Sometimes it would go to 3 GB also. So if it occupies 2.5 to 3 GB of RAM, it is recommended to have 1 GB of RAM additionally available for all the other components like your task manager, you have basic operating system, all these would work in this 1 GB. Now, if you have 8 GB, you can parallelly use 2 or 3 applications. I mean, that's how Power BI works, right? So if you occupy 3 GB, you still have 5 GB. So out of 5, you can use 3 to 4 GB additionally with the other applications. So I've got few more questions on Friday that if at all there is a 4 GB, should I expand it to 8 GB? Should I make it maybe, can I have an external RAM attached to it? No, it is not required, right? I would not emphasize to have any additional RAM with your laptop or desktop. The only thing is make sure you are not using any heavy application parallelly with Power BI. That's the only suggestion what I have for 4 GB. Fair. And I mean, there are different ways to download Power BI desktop. Different ways in the sense, maybe you can use either of the browser. Like if you want to use Chrome, you can use Chrome. If you want to use Edge, you can use Edge. Right? Earlier there was Internet Explorer, even that was possible option. But I would always recommend you to use Edge. See why? Because I'll let you know. If I just mention this Microsoft download, right? It would first website, the very first website, it would ask you to go to that Microsoft.com where you can download this desktop. Whichever application is available, right? Now, if you see, this is the latest one, February version. The Friday's version, what we have seen, it was 20th of Jan, it seems. Now, today we are trying to see the 14th of Feb version, the latest one. Now, one who have already downloaded the January version, is it recommended to download this one? No. If you have downloaded, I mean, maybe in whichever month you are, you can just go back to -3 or 4 months. That's fine. If your Power BI desktop is of -3 to 4 months back, that's still fine. There is nothing wrong in that. Right? Very minute updates will be there, but it is always recommended to have the latest version. If you are almost 6 months older version, if you're using 1 year older version, it is recommended to have the latest or -3 months back. Even that is fine. There's nothing wrong with that. So this is the best option. If you're using Chrome, right? Chrome is not a product of, I mean, Edge is a browser related to Microsoft, right? Default browser. If you're using a Chrome, what happens is if you mention Power BI desktop download, right? If you download this, here also it would ask you to go to the official website. The very first component, it would ask you to go to the very first website. Right. Now, these are two options. Sometimes what happens in case of Chrome, it would navigate you to some other third-party website, which I would not recommend. right? So there are many other options. See, Power BI download, Power BI download. Sometimes it would navigate you to some other website, like GitHub is also there. GitHub is also a product of Microsoft only, but it would somewhere ask you to go to some other websites. Please don't do that. Right? Get it downloaded from the Microsoft.com, the original website only. And if you're, I mean, using browser, these are the options. The other way is you can just go to your store, Microsoft Store. You can just search here and you can just go to Microsoft Store. There also you will get an option. Like you have in your mobile, we have App Store, right? Play Store, App Store. So somewhere we will also have a store here. If I just mention store, right? Microsoft Store. You can just go to the Microsoft Store and you can download it from here as well. So all three possible options, three in the sense two different browsers and the one from the Microsoft Store. Installing Power BI Desktop is not that difficult. It would not emphasize you, it will not push you to have some additional storage. No, it will not do that. It will get clearly easily installed. This is one of the easiest installation which you can see, right? No other reporting tool in this current world has this easiest installation, right? Even Tableau has certain components which need some additional support where you may not be able to download it easily. Right now, forget about Click, forget about any other application. It requires some additional support or it requires some additional internet connectivity every time. Even if you're not connected to internet, the Power BI desktop would be running, up and running. And maybe by the time we get started, I'll take only one more minute additionally. You can see there is a login towards right corner. This is my login. See, one who gets enrolled once we continue with the sixth or seventh session may not be the very next week, but probably after 15, 20 sessions, first few sessions, it is recommended not to have any login to the Power BI desktop. You would be getting the KSR domain email IDs further. Depending on that, I would let you know how to log into the Power BI desktop. Login to desktop doesn't matter until and unless you want to publish a report. Like you have developed some report and you want to publish it. In that case, only the login is compulsory, right? And there are some other services which you would like to use. For that services, the login is compulsory. Until maybe next 15, 20 days, no, it is not recommended to log in. And this login is only possible with the domain email IDs, official email IDs, not with your Gmail, not with your Yahoo, or maybe not with your any personal email IDs. It is not possible. So let's not try logging in now. I mean, as I've said, it is not that, I mean, recommended also, and not a requirement as well as of now. Right. So it's a very plain, straightforward, easy to use application. Fair. Now, let's get started. Maybe we'll just go back and recall few other uh, components what we discussed on Friday. Right, we have just gone through the UI of Friday. The the Power BI UI on Friday. How does it look alike? Let's try to understand it again and let's try to understand what all components are present. Right. So just give me a moment. Okay. Now, I would like to have your, I mean, whatever questions I have, I'd like to have you people to answer it, right? So, can anyone help me? What is this above
It's a
component called as?
it's a ribbon bar.
Yes, it's a ribbon bar. What are these icons called as? Forget about the fourth and fifth icon. These are not recommended or not maybe compulsory, but what about these icons? What is the first icon?
Actually, these are left hand side called view, and the first
Hmm,
is report view.
correct,
Then table view will come.
correct. Table, or you can call it as a data view also. Correct. And the last one is
Data
It's a,
modeling.
correct. It's a model. So these are views. What kind of view would like to view it? that views are available. And towards right, you will have different, I mean, data pane, filters pane, or visualization. Right. So you can, we have that flexibility to extract them, maybe expand them and contrast. I mean, you can minimize them also. Now, we have discussed some components of Power BI Desktop, right? Power BI Desktop is not a single straightforward application. Like, though it looks very easy, right? There are some sub components in it. So, what all components are there? Let's try to understand. See, once you open the Power BI Desktop, the very first front option, the front page which you see, this complete front page is called as Power View. Whatever you're trying to see, right? It is called as Power View. Now, what is Power View? Power View is where you do all your reporting. Like you have an option called as visualization, right? You can drag and drop some visual and you can add some data to it if you have a data. So this is called as a Power View. As a Power BI developer, most of the times, maybe you can say 50 to 60 percentage of the times you would be working here on this Power View component. It's the most important component of the Power BI desktop, right? So most important component. Now, there is, I mean, as I've said, for the Power BI, we discussed about basic components. We have a ETL tool also, inbuilt ETL tool. Like you want to do some data transformations, you want to do some data cleaning. For that specific component, you just have to go to ribbon bar in the home tab. You will get an option called as transform data. You just have to click, you will have a drop down here and you just open the transform data. It would open a new window for you. And there is a difference, right? There is a difference. If I minimize this, see here it is mentioned as untitled Power BI desktop. Whereas if I just go to the one which I've opened, it is untitled Power Query Editor. So this is a separate component. This is called as Power Query Editor. Now, what is Power Query Editor? This is where you do all your data transformations, like data cleaning, data manipulation. If you want to have all that transformations has to be done with this Power Query Editor only. This is the first component of Power BI Desktop. Now, a big question that if I open Power BI Desktop, it usually opens the Power View, right? How come I am claiming that this is the first component? See, how Power BI Desktop works. I mean, though we have seen the user interface, this is what the first component which it opens. Ideally, whenever you open a Power BI or whenever you connect any data to Power BI, it goes through separate layers. That one layer is called as one component. So whenever you have different data sources, like you have multiple data sources, right? So this is data source one, this is data source two, or this is data source 3. Now anything, it could be any different data source, and I'm trying to connect it to the Power BI. The very first component which it will go through is your Power Query Editor, PQE. I'll mention it as PQE, Power Query Editor. Without Power Query, there is no Power View. Power View is after Power Query Editor, right? So even though if I just go to the Power View, and I mean, we have seen there is a basic option called as get data. Now, if I would like to connect any of these data sources, even though I directly connect it to Power View, it always comes through Power Query. So whichever data you connect to Power BI Desktop, it always goes through the Power Query Editor and then only it jumps into Power View. So Power Query Editor is by default available at the start. And it doesn't mean that if you connect any data source, you have to do some transformations. No, it is not compulsory. Power Query Editor is given an option that you can do the data transformations. Now we'll try to see all these applications one after the other, but the first component or the first sub component, you can call it as a Power Query Editor. Now, in Power Query Editor only, there are additional few more components. Like if I just go to this particular option, transform, you have an option called as pivot. you have an option called as unpivot. Now, what are these? These are called as power pivot. There is a sub component inside a Power Query editor, which is called as power pivot. This is also one of the component, but it is itself a part of Power Query editor. It is not separately kept. It is inbuilt within the Power Query editor only. So Power Query editor is the first sub component. Power pivot is the second sub component. Now, after this, there is a power view. View is where, remember the names, right? We'll always recall these names for next 4 to 5 days so that you get used to with these names, right? So first one is Power Query Editor, and in that same Power Query Editor, there is a Power Pivot. Then the third component is the Power View. This is the third component. Now, inside a Power View only, if I come down to Power View, the front end, which is the first application which it opens, in the Power View only, you have an option called as, there are some visuals here. And you have an option called as Q&A. Power Q&A is also one of the component. Power Q&A is also one of the component. What is Q&A? You can ask a question and it will answer the question, or rather it will give you a visual for that question which you have asked. This is the fourth component, which itself is a part of Power View. It is not separately kept. It is within the Power View only. This is the fourth component. Right. So we will discuss this component in detail. May not be now, but it is a component. And there is one more component which is present inside a Power View only, which is the fifth component. That fifth component is called as Power Map. This fifth component is called as Power Map. So just give me a moment. We discussed that list of components, right? Let me open that list of components. This one. So Power Query itself will have a Power Pivot. Power View itself will have a Power Map and Power Q&A embedded in them. And anyways, Power BI Desktop is a combination of all of these components, right? So how many components we discussed? We discussed Power Pivot first, sorry, Power Query Editor first, then Power Pivot as the second, Power View as the third, Power Q&A as the fourth, Power Map as the fifth component, and this complete set has two views. One is a desktop view and one is a mobile view, right? If I just open the Power View, you have two views here towards left corner. Default, it will be the the website or desktop layout. And the second one is the mobile layout. So these are, maybe you can call that as a view. And this complete set is called as a Power BI Desktop, PBI Desktop, where you can do the development. And once the development is done, you publish it to particular website, which is called as Power BI Service. This is called as PBI Service. It is also one of the component, right? So total, how many components? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. All these 5 combined together to form one single desktop. And this is the sixth component, which is called as Power BI Service, where you publish your report. This is the original structure of a Power BI. Right? So you need to remember these components. Now, is it that you remember each and every component? We may not be using every component on daily basis. Most of the times, as I've said, 60% of the time, a person would be in the Power View only. And if you're inside a Power View, if you're using any map visuals, if you're using any Q&A, by default, it will maybe somewhere 80% of the times you would be in the Power View, right? 10% you Power Map will occupy and 10% Q&A will occupy. So the 20% of the times you would be using Power Query Editor, and you may not be using Power Pivot on daily basis, right? Wherever you feel you want to pivot some data, you want to unpivot some data, only then you end up using Power Pivot. But apart from Power Pivot, there are many other transformations which you would like to use. in the Power Query. So this is how the bifurcation happens, right? Most of the times Power View for the visualization, and for any data related transformations, it has to be Power Query Editor. Now, as I've said, even though you connect your data directly to Power View, it always goes through the Power Query Editor. You cannot skip this editor. It will be there for sure. Right. So let's try to understand how do you first get some data to the Power BI and how the basic transformation works or how the basic visualization works. Right. So the data flow, original, how the flowing of data is. Right. So there are two ways. See, once you open the Power BI desktop, you are inside a Power View. You will get an option called as Get Data. That same option is also available in the Power Query Editor. If I just go to Home tab, you have an option called as New Source. New source is nothing but get data only. Like similar sources are there. If I just click on more, it would open you or it would give you all the options. Same options you can get in the front end. If I just click on more, so it would not open because already there is a window open for it. If I just cancel it and if I come down to the Power View and then I click on more, that same window will open. So you connect from any of the component, it always goes through Power Query Editor. You do some transformations, okay. If you're not doing any transformations, still okay. But it has to go through Power Query Editor because that is the first component or the first layer of Power BI desktop. Now, as I've said, there are more than 100 data connectors. Right? You can connect to any of these databases, any of these sources which you have here. So we will not directly jump to any of the direct database sources. We'll try to connect some CSV files, right? We will basically first connect some CSV files, and then we will try to extract some other data, like data sources or maybe some other information from different databases as well. Now, CSV is what? Either you can connect an Excel file, I mean the local files which you have, or you end up connecting a text file or a CSV file. Right. So just give me a moment. Hmm. Someone has a question.
Sorry to interrupt you, Satish here. Like, how about modeling and DAX will comes under which component?
Good. Just give me a moment. Okay. So where does the DAX and modeling comes? So see, where is this model view? Model view is present in the Power View, right? So modeling is always a part of Power View. Modeling is not a separate layer. You can do the modeling here. See, it is giving you some, I mean, this is how the model view looks like. If you would have connected some tables, right, it would give you that this is our relationship should work. This is how a model view looks like. I mean, though we have zero tables or we haven't connected, model view itself is a part of Power View, right? It is a view, right? That means it should be part of Power View. And DAX. DAX is what? DAX is all about formulas. And where do you write a DAX? DAX formulas are written in the front end only. Once you feel the data is looking good, you're doing some visualization, you have to write DAX formulas here. Here itself, you will write the DAX formulas. Now, DAX formulas in the sense, you have an option in the modeling tab, like calculations. Now, we do not have any data. That's the reason the other options are grayed out. But this is where in the modeling tab, you will go to calculations. You will get an option called as new measure, new column, new table, or a quick measure. These are all DAX. So these are all part of Power View, content, Power View.
Thank you. Thank you.
Fair. Now let's try. Yeah, someone has still any questions? Okay, now I'll just go to the get data. Maybe I would like to connect a text or a CSV file. I'll just go to the local folders where I have the files and let me connect some files. Maybe I'll randomly get some data. Let's see how does this data goes through. See, if I'm connecting from Power View, I'm trying to connect from Power View. Now, it would open a new window for you and it is asking you, there are three options. Cancel, straightforward, easy to understand it if you would like to cancel whatever I've connected. The other two options are load and transform data. So what are these options? Yeah. Monica, you have a question?
No, sorry.
So we have load and transform. What these two options are? See, if I just click on load, if I just click on it, automatically, see, it is in the Power Query, it went to Power Query, and again it came back to the Power View. That means whatever data you have connected, even though you are connecting it from a Power View, it is going back to Power Query, and again it is coming to the Power View. See, we are inside Power Query now. I have connected it from Power View, but it is coming to the Power Query. So that's why I always say that Power Query is the first component wherever you connect the data. If you're connecting from Power Query, it will be by default the first component. But if you're connecting it from a Power View, it will come through Power Query editor and it will go to the Power View only. Now you can see in the data tab, there is a table. And in this table, these are all the columns. Right? Table name or table is sometimes called as data set in Power BI, and you have some column names here. If I go to Power Query Editor, see in Power Query Editor, you should have these components. I mean, query settings, queries. For few of you, these queries would be minimized. You can maximize it. And for few of you, if you're not getting this query settings option, like you're not getting the option towards right, that window itself is not available. You just go to the, now in Power Query also you have a ribbon bar. See in Power Query as well, there is a ribbon bar and you have different tabs here. You just go to the View tab. In the View tab towards leftmost corner, there is an option called as Query Settings. You will get this Query Settings option. If you unclick it, it will go away. If you click it, it would come again. Now this window is very, very important, the Query Settings option, because whatever data manipulation, transformation you're doing, all that steps will be captured. Now, whatever data I have connected here, right, a CSV or a text file. See, if I change anything here in the Power BI, it will not affect in the original source. It will not affect in the original source. Why? Because you are taking a snapshot of that data in the Power BI. Power BI has that full authority. You can change anything within the snapshot. So there are different modes to connect the data also. We will try to see all that modes, but you always assume that whatever changes you make in Power BI, it will never ever be pushed back to the source. It is always within the Power BI only. So that is the reason it makes the reporting tool makes more beneficial, that what changes you are making, it is only in that reporting tool, not to change the original data source. Right? So this is Power Query Editor and this is Power View. Now, what I will do, I'll just close this Power Query Editor. See, whenever you are closing, it will always ask you to apply the changes. What changes? Because I've connected some data set, a table. Whatever table I have connected, I should save that table, right? That is the reason it is asking me. I'll not save it. Maybe not now. I'll close this. Now here it will give you some window. So what I'll do, I'll delete this. The table which I've connected, I'll delete this. We have seen the load option, right? Load means what? There is a difference. Again, I'll just go to the get data. I'll go to the text or a CSV file. Let me connect that, open that file. See, if I just click on load, it will directly connect. Though there is no Power Query editor, but it will directly connect. Even though there is no query editor, right? If I just open this transform data, there will be a data set with that team in the query editor. There will be a data set. This is called as load option, or that's how default data is connected. Now the other option is transform data. Transform is nothing separate. Transform means, see, I have just opened the Power View. There is no Power Query open at the end. I'll again go to the get data. I'll go to the text and CSV file. Let me connect that file again. It would pop up and it would open that window, right? That pop-up window. If I just click on transform, it would open the Power Query editor for you by default, right? So you use any of the option. It will go through Power Query only, but the only thing is load means it will directly open in the Power View, and transform means it would open in the Power Query editor. That's the only difference. Now, it is asking me to do some changes, right? What changes? Apply changes. I have just connected it to the Power Query. I have not connected it to the Power View. You can see in the data tab, there is no data. Why? Because it is only in the Power Query. It is not available in the front end. If you want to get it available in the front end, either you apply the changes here. Apply changes means what? Whatever changes you have done in the Power Query, it would be applied in the front end. Or in the Power Query itself, there is an option called as save or apply. Either you use this option or you use your Control S. Now, Control S would open a different way, I mean, a different window where you can save this file, right? What I'll do, I'll just apply the changes. Changes applied. Now the data will be available here. So you can easily differentiate that there are two separate components. Power View is separate and Power Query is separate. Anywhere you connect your data, it goes through Power Query and only it comes to the Power View. Without Power Query, you cannot connect any data to the Power View. It is not at all possible. Fair? Now, let's try to do some, let's try to understand some basic uh, components. Now, basic components in the sense, we have gone through each and every component like Power Query Editor, Power Pivot, Power View, Power Map, Power Q&A, and the model views are there, right? Model view, data view, report view. So what's the primary difference? See, I'm in the report view. Report view means you will get the visualization tab. If I just go to the table view or a data view, the information will be available in the table format. And by default, see, whenever I'm moving to the table view, in the ribbon bar, it is giving me calculation option. If you want to do any calculations, like your tax functions, you can do here. You can do here also. There is nothing wrong in that. But usually what is recommended is if you're inside a report view, you do some reporting, you do some visualization work. But if you want to do some calculations you cannot perform on a visual, right? It should be on a data. So it is recommended to come down to the table view and do that calculations here. Now the last one is your model view. As we have only one table, you cannot create any relationships, right? You can see here, manage relationship tab is grayed out. Why? Because you only have one table. If one table is there, how would you create a relationship? There has to be a second table, only then you can create a relationship between them. This is your model view. Now, the other two options like DAX query view, TMDL view, for few of these views are not coming. See, these are additional views. These three are default. You just have to go to the files. In the files, you have an option called as options and settings. Go to options. It would open a new window for you. In this new window, there are two options again, global settings and current file settings. Let's go to global settings. In the global settings, there is an option called as preview features. In this preview features, there is an option called as TMDL view, which is by default enabled. This TMDL, the fifth icon which is available, TMDL view. And there is an option called as write DAX queries with Copilot. This is your DAX view. If you uncheck this option, see, I'll only uncheck TMDL for now and let me click on OK. You have disabled one of the preview features that requires your Power BI desktop, restarting Power BI desktop. Okay. See, it would not go away directly, But if I restart my Power BI desktop, just give me a moment. I'll close this Power BI desktop. I've officially closed it, and let me reopen it. I mean, reopen in the sense restarting it, right? Maybe I'm closing it and again restarting it. And if you see that fifth icon is gone, there is no fifth icon. Let me open the blank report again. There is no fifth icon. The TMDL view is gone. So there are some options, like if I go to files, options and settings, options, and in the global data preview features or preview options, you will get that checkboxes available. TMDL view. And same is the DAX query with Copilot. If you want to disable this view also, but you cannot disable the first three one. These are compulsory. You cannot disable them. By default, they'll be available. Fair. So we will go through each and I mean, not all options are important in that options and settings, but there are few options which are recommended to understand. Right. So we have just understood some basic components. We'll try to understand it maybe in the further sessions. Now, let's try to get an understanding that how the visualization works, right? The most important part of this Power BI desktop is all about visualization. How do you visualize any particular information, right? So let me again go to, I mean, I've closed the older version and I'm reopening the new version again, right? So I'll reconnect that data set again. I know the data set is clean. That's the reason I'll directly load it. Rather going it to transform data, Power Query data, I'll not do anything. I'll directly load it. Right. So these changes will be auto applied in the Power Query data and it will be available in the Power View front end. Now, there are few visuals which are available here. So you have to just go back to your schooling days. Any questions? Anil?
Ritesh, yeah. So yesterday I tried this process which you are doing right now, loading the data in the Power BI.
Hmm.
So during that time, it asked me to log in, and the login pop-up has frequently coming.
Um, if you're
That
connecting a CSV file,
no, it's a Excel file.
Excel, anything, any in your local file only. It's a local file.
Yeah.
That's fine. It is asking you to log in. You can remove, I mean, you can skip that option. For now, you can skip that. Okay. Now, you just have to go back to your schooling days to understand the basic visuals, basic terminologies, right? Now, what all schooling days, I mean, what all basic idea related to graph. I assume that you people know what is graph and what all components are present in the graph. You have to understand that. Right. So how does a graph look like? This is how a graph is. So in a graph, what is this axis called as? Which is from left to right. Can anyone guess what is that axis called as?
X-axis, Y-axis.
X.
It is x-axis, right? You just have to go to your schooling days, right? And this
Yes.
is y-axis. Now sometimes you can have two y-axis also, like here. This is a secondary y-axis. Sometimes, not every time. Right? Secondary y-axis. This is your graph. Something like graphs are there, right? Histograms are created here. Graph. So you just have to recall that graphs and axis information because access information is very important to understand. This is why, and this is secondary y. This is not a primary y, secondary y. Primary is this axis. Primary y axis is this. If you have two y axes, you can have the secondary y axis. There is no possibility of secondary x axis here. You cannot create a secondary axis here. It is not possible. There is only one x-axis. As of now, there is only one axis. Right? You can have two y-axis, but only one x-axis. That's how the information is. So x-axis is left to right, y-axis is from top to bottom or bottom to top. Now, before jumping to this graph, if I just go to the power view and if I expand that table, I mean, you have an option to increase the table, right? This particular table view or data. In this case, if you see, there are some icons which are available for some of the columns. Icons. What does this icon signify? These icons signify that this is a numerical data. Wherever there is a summarization, this is a summarization icon, this icon. This is a summarization icon. And where you can summarize. You can summarize a numeric data, right? Sum of sales, average of sales, summarizing, right? You cannot do sum of name, sum of surname, sum of age is available, sum of contact number. You can also do on contact number, though it is a numeric, but it doesn't look like a numeric, right? Summarize is used on a numerical data, wherever the data is numeric. And wherever the data is not numeric, there is no icon given for it. If you see there is no numeric data, there is no icon given for it. There is no icon. So you have to identify with the help of icons. If you're using a Power BI, data types are very, very important. Data types are very important. You have to understand the data types. Without understanding data types, you cannot work on any visualization. Neither you can work on data manipulation or data transformations also. Right? So understanding data types matter, right? So first is whether it's a numeric data type. Wherever there is a summarization icon, it's a numeric. If it's a character data type, there is no icon to it. And there is one more data type called as date or date time. For date time, you will see a calendar like icon, something like this. You will see a calendar. Now, if I just go back, there are dates. Order date is there, shipment date is there, but why not there is a date icon available? What happens is sometimes Power BI may not assume some date columns as date only. It may not able to understand the date column, right? Sometimes it would happen that way. It would work that way. So in that case, if it is not able to understand if it's a date, right? See, what I have to do is, how do I check? I'll just go to the table view. In the data view, you can see shipment date, order date are dates. So whenever I click on any particular column, see, it is displaying what type of data type is it. The name of a column, what type of data type, and in that data type, you have subtypes. Like if I just go to one of the numerical data, postal code. See, postal code is a whole number. And in the whole number, how does it look like? Should it be a decimal? Should it be a general? Should it be a percentage value? Should it be scientific? It should be a currency. Whatever value you can have, you can format it. Any numerical data, if you consider again, like sales. Sales is a decimal number, right? In decimal also, you will have types. You want to convert it to whole number, you can convert without any decimals. It will round up the values. So for every column, you have a different data type. If you see product name is a text, which looks good. But if I just go to the order date or shipment date, these columns are not assuming as a date. These are assumed as a text. That is the reason there is no icon. So sometimes Power BI will not be able to understand, even though from the source they are coming as a date, Power BI will not be able to understand. I mean, that's one of the, it's not a limitation, because you're using some different data source and you're connecting it to Power BI, there is a change of application, right? So if you're doing it from third party or some cross application you're doing, it would not able to understand the original data type, and that's the common issue. So in that case, you have to go back and see original data type, whether it supports the original data type. If it isn't supporting it, you change the data type. You have that flexibility. So how do I change it? Let's try to change it from here. There is a possibility. From text, I'll change it to the date, not date time, only date. Let's see if it is getting changed. See, it got changed. It got changed instantly. But is it correct? The first question is it correct? I'm not sure if it is correct. What I'll do, see, 492017. What is this 49? See, you cannot guess. 4th of September ideally it is. Because we can guess it from the below condition. Is it correct? 912. Or is it 12th of September?
So 12th of September actually. Sorry, 9th of December. Sorry.
Is it 9th of December, 12th of September?
No, it's 9th of December because it will take an US
It could
format.
be 12th of September also, right? Sometimes. So you just have
Yeah.
to check. See, 31st. 31st is not a month, right? So ideally it is 9th of December only. You have to check
Yes.
the other below columns. Now let's see if it is correctly getting converted. The shipment date. I was not sure whether the order date correctly converted. 49 should be 4th of September. I'll change the data type here. It is changing to 9th of April. 9th of April 2017. How come this is correct?
But below something.
It got changed, right? Ideally, it should be 4th of September, 04092017. How come it is 9th of April? Suddenly changed to 9th of April, right? See,
Uh, I
the,
I have
uh
one question here. It will take by default US date or IST date.
by default, it will take the US date.
US date. Then if it is taking a US date, then it should be in a second line. It should be December, no?
See, what was it? It was
12.
0409.
No, second one. It was 12.
It was 12, right?
Yeah.
So it looked like a date, month, and year.
Yeah.
But when format has changed, it was
It
taken.
become a IST date. It's like a
See,
month date.
how it happens is whenever you're working on Power BI, if you do date changes in the front end is what Power View. I always call Power View as the front end. If you do data changes here, will this data changes reflect in the backend? I'm not sure, right? See, though you can see I've changed it to date, you can see the calendar icon for these columns. So wherever you see calendar icon, you will get an option, date hierarchy option. This is how you will get a date hierarchy. For every date, there is a day, month, quarter, year, 4 date components or date hierarchies present.
Yeah. Ritesh, when you done the changes in the Power View,
Mhm.
is that automatically done in the Power BI data?
That okay. I'll go to that. For now, let's only understand this icon is available and you will get a date hierarchy. Now, a good question is whether that changes get reflected in the transform data. Let me open the transform data. See, whatever changes you do in Power Query, that changes will reflect in the Power View. But whatever changes you do in Power View, these are only front-end changes. It will not reflect in the back-end. If you see order date, shipment date. For now, we will not go through each and every option for the Power Query in the first few days because Power Query is slightly different to understand. But if you see on every column, there is a left side option available which will give you what type of data type is it. Row ID is 123, which is numeric. If you just click on 123, it will give you a list of all the data types which are available. So if I just go to order date and if I just click on it for order date and see what I'll do, I'll take a snapshot first. Let's see why to get in a hurry that I'll capture this. And then let me go to order date and let me change it to date. So it is asking me, should I replace in the existing column or should I add a new step? See what I'll do, I'll add a new step. I'll not replace here. Let's see. I'll add a new step. And whenever I'm adding a new step in the sense you can go back. So if I uncheck it, it will go back to the previous version. Benefits of using Power Query and benefits of using these applied steps. Whatever data transformations you do in Power Query, you can go back, you can reverse it back. And why is it throwing the error? And if I do this, why is it throwing an error? It is not correctly getting, right? It is getting, for few dates, it is working. Let's see what is that second date. 6827 210 2018. 210 2018. It is working correctly. And what about the first one? 18/3/2016. There is no 18th month. There is 10th month accepted. So wherever the dates are in the, or I mean, whatever MMDD or DDMM format, only that is correctly getting converted. The other dates are giving you error, right? And that's one of the common mistake everyone does. Fine, right? You can still change whatever data type you have changed in the front end. That data type is only in the front end. It will not reflect in the backend. Backend data is different. If you change the data type here, only then that data will be reflected here. Now, how to change the data type on a date? Usually only on a date conditions these errors occur. So there is a special provision in the sense there is a special use case for dates. You have to split these dates and then you have to merge them. Now, I'll not discuss it now because we are not going through Power Query components, but whatever data type changes you do in the front end, it will not be reflected in the back end for sure. If you do here and you save it, it will be reflected in the front end. Right? So front end changes are not in back end changes are always in front end. Fair. So we will discuss a use case that how do I change the data type of this order date and shipment date correctly. We'll not discuss it now. There is, I mean, it requires some additional steps. So that we will discuss going further. For now, let me close this Power Query editor. I'll go to the Power View. Whatever changes it has made in the front end, I'll assume that changes temporarily. Going further, I'll update it. I'm not saying that I'll keep these changes. Going further, I'll update it. But I was only supposed to give you an idea that for a date component, you will get a date hierarchy and a calendar-like icon. Right? So understanding data types are very, very important. Character, numeric, date. And there is a date time also, and it is a part of date and time itself. I mean, if it is only date, you go with date, and if there is only time, I mean, you can go with time as well. Now coming to the graph. We were discussing the graph, right? We're discussing the graph. So let's understand the basic graphs. So there are visuals here. There are visuals here. Some default visuals are there. If I take a snapshot of this, let's see how many visuals are there. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. 6 sevens of 42 visuals are there. Are these the only 42 visuals? No, there are many more visuals which you can download it from third-party store or Microsoft store. Yes, you can download it. But these are all default visuals, right? These are all default visuals. See, there is one more option. The Power BI recently got many updates, right? If you go to this get more visuals icon, just go to this option called as restore default visuals. You will get one more visual here. Some additional visual got added, right? What does this restore mean? Restore means it will add and what's the difference? What additional visual it got added? Everything looks same, everything looks same. There is one visual which got added. What is that visual? And I'm not sure what was that visual. And I'm comparing each and every visual.
In
This
line
one,
6.
the card. If you see, this card is not available in the card. So there are sometimes what happens, Power BI gets some updates. Restore default visuals. If you just click on it, it will get the latest visuals. Or the visual which was hidden, even you will get that hidden visual. So somewhere there are around 42 to 43 visuals available, default visuals available. Now, R and Python, these two are, I mean, you might look or you might understand them as a visual, but these are not visuals. You have to write a R script, R language script. You have to write a Python script to get any rendering visual. Like in Python, you can write a script to create a visual also, right? In same way, you can write a Python script to create a visual and you can connect it to Power BI. If you're not happy with any of this visual, you can write your own visual script. So these are scripting visuals. Apart from these two, all other are default straightforward visuals. Right. So let me first get some visual. Now, which visual? There are two types of charts. If you just recall to your schooling days, one is a bar chart and one is a column chart. Now, what is bar chart and what is column chart? Column, this is how a column looks like. These are columns, right? Bars are also columns, but bars are not from top to bottom. Bars are from left to right, like this. If you go from left to right, these are called as bars. If you go from top to bottom or bottom to top, these are called as columns. Column and bar. That's the only difference between a bar chart and column chart. That is the only difference. Now, axes will remain same, right? You cannot change X and Y axis. It will be remained same. It will remain as it is. Right. So let's first start with the column chart and then I'll go to the bar chart. And why? Why not bar chart first, right? Because bar chart is the first visual. I'm going to column chart first. You will get an idea. So what is column chart? I'll go to the first column chart. This is your column chart, or this is your column chart. Stacked column chart. For now, let me drag. And see, whenever you're working on any visuals, right, you can keep this filters pane minimized. You can get this data pane until and unless wherever you can see the complete column name, you can minimize it, right? Or you can compress it. Okay, I can see the complete column names. This looks good. And when I clicked on this visual, right, how come there are some dotted lines which are available? If you are learning Power BI for the very first time, it is always recommended to have the grid lines. These are called as grid lines. How do you get these grid lines? In the ribbon bar, just go to the view. In the view, you have an option called as grid lines. This is by default disabled. You just click on it, enable it. And why? Because you can have the exact sizes of the visuals with respect to that grid lines, right? You can match it with that grid lines. Match it with that grid lines. Now I've got it. Maybe I can make it bigger, right? I can make it big enough. As of now, I'm only working on one visual at a time, right? So there are different column charts. One is stacked column, one is clustered column, and one is 100% stacked column. We will discuss all three. First thing is you have to understand what is column chart. And if you see, whenever I drag any chart, you will get some options here. What is x-axis? What is y-axis? What is legend? What all tooltips are? What are small multiples? Forget about small multiples, tooltips, and legend for now. For now. I'm not saying for now you forget. Only focus on x and y. A column chart looks like this, right? Something like a column. These are columns. So there should be some x-axis data and there should be some y-axis data. Now we need to identify that what data will come in x-axis, I mean what data type will come in x-axis and what data type will come in the y-axis. See, x-axis, I'll randomly drag some data. I'll just get this visual towards middle of the page. And in the x-axis, I will try to drag category. Added, but where is the data? Unless you add something to the y-axis, it will not come up. So let me add some customer ID. See, whenever I'm adding a customer ID, though the customer ID is a categorical data, it's a character data, it is converting it to the count of customer ID. Why? Focus on the graph, right? If you just go back, x-axis should be some category, character, but y-axis should be some numerical, right? Only then a bar will come, that column will come. Column will be decided on the basis of some numeric information. But if I do vice versa, right? Vice versa in the sense, I will get the numerical data added. See, if I add any numerical data to x-axis, and if I add categorical data to the y-axis, whichever data you add to the y-axis, it will take count only. And this visual is not giving you any justification, right? This visual is not correct. Why? Because it is not able to. You are not able to read any information. What are the bars? What are these columns? What it is trying to justify? So in x-axis, you cannot take any numerical value. Even if you take a numerical value, it will work, but it will not give you the right result. So it is not giving you right result, right? So x-axis should be always a categorical value for a column chart. Category, any categorical value, any categorical. You can take segment. It is giving you right result, right? And in y-axis, it should be always numerical. Even if you take any categorical data, it will convert it to the numerical data, like count, sum, something it will do in the background. So X should be always categorical data and Y should be always numerical data. Only then this column chart will give you right results. So which column or which data type information should be taken in which axis, that also matters. Now, this is categories. What is category? Category is character data, but it is getting converted to count of category. I can take some numerical data directly, right? Sum of sales. So whenever you drag any numerical data, it will give you, see, there is a drop down option. You just click on drop down. There are different categories, or sorry, there are different summarizations which are available. Sum, average, minimum, maximum, count, count distinct, deviation, variance, median. These are all the summarization options which are available in any reporting tool. Not only in Power BI, but any reporting tool. Whereas if I click on segment, this is a categorical data. You will not get that summarization because it's not a numerical data. Right? So it is always recommended to have a character in the x-axis and numeric in the y-axis. Only then this will be a correct column chart. Now, what about a bar chart? Bar chart is from left to right, right? Not from top to bottom. Bars are from left to right. So bars are something like this. These are from left to right, not top to bottom. So in case if you want a bar chart, let me open. See, you have pages option. In Power View, you can create a one big report. Report doesn't mean it will be only one page report, right? It can be 2 pages, 3 pages, 4 pages, 10 pages. A report can be a very big report also, right? It could be set of multiple pages. So if you want to add a new page, just click on this new page. It would open that new page. Now, unless you add any visual, it will not give you that grid lines. So I'll add the bar chart, stacked bar chart. See, it is from left to right. Though we haven't added a data, it is left to right. And if you see, there is a difference. In column chart, see, you have to click on that visual, only then you'll get the list of options. X-axis is coming first and Y-axis is coming second. But in case of bar chart, Y-axis is coming first and X-axis is coming second. Why? Because bar chart requires Y-axis to be categorical data and X-axis should be numerical data. It is vice versa of a column chart. Axes will remain as it is. X will remain in the X position only. Y will remain in the Y position only. But it will interchange the data which it takes. Y-axis will take categorical data, X-axis will take numerical data. That's the only change in case of bar chart because it is from left to right. Right? It is from left to right. Sleeping line, standing line. So in Y-axis, it should be, I'll take that same data, right? What I've taken here, segment and sum of sales. I'll drag that segment in the Y-axis and sales in the X-axis. The only thing is sleeping left to right, right? See, if I interchange the positions, it will not work. It is giving you a wrong result, right? And whatever you take in the X-axis, it will take it as numeric only for a bar chart because X-axis should be numeric. It will pressurize, it will push it to make it numeric, though it is categorical. So numeric in the numeric condition and categorical in the categorical condition. Understanding of axes, understanding the importance of data types, and what to take in X-axis, what to take in Y-axis in case of column and a bar chart. Now these are stacked bar charts, right? What is stacked? There is an option called as legend. Stack means like this is a column. In a column, you can have multiple partitions. Let's suppose this is a column for East region, assume East region, and in East region, you have East region 1, East region 2, East region 3. You can have separate sales for different regions, but all the regions are part of East only, right? So this is called as stack. Stacking means having some information with the same column. Same is the case with bar. If it's a bar, you will have these kind of informations: East region 1, East region 2, East region 3. This is called as stack. Stack means you're pushing something inside that same column or a bar. Now, how do I stack that information? Yeah, go ahead. Someone has a question.
But Ritesh, it seems to be some categorical, like some different categories.
Yeah, legend. Stack is what? Stack is a categorical information only, right? Region is what? A categorical. You cannot add a numerical information. If you add a numeric, it will be many values. Let's see, right? So I'll go to the column chart. I'll click on this chart. I'll go to legend. Inside this legend, let me add the data. If suppose I'm adding a data called as shipment mode. Shipment mode is a categorical data. There are 4 shipment modes. First class, same day, second class, standard class. You can have that 4 partitions in that column itself, right? And separate values, you can see it is getting stacked. That means it is getting filtered up in that same column. And it would do the same in the bar as well. I'll just go to this bar chart in the legend. I'll add that shipment mode. This is called a stack. Stacking information in single bar or a column. Now, we can add a numerical data also, right? Why not? Let's try. If I add a profit, see, this is looking like a stack, but there will be n number of profit values, right? N number of numerical data. And if you see, there is this eye icon. How come this eye icon came? What is this I icon? I icon means too many values, not showing all the data. What does it signify? You cannot take any numerical information. If you take, there should be limited numerical values. There are n number of profit values, right? It will create n number of partitions. Visual looks very interesting, but is it understandable? No, right? The most important part of any visual is, are you able to read it? If you are not able to read it, though it looks very colorful, no use of it, right? What will you do with that colorful? I mean, colors, different color. What will you do? You have to understand the data. So recommended is legend should also be categorical. If it's a numerical, it should be very limited values. And it is not recommended, right? Numerical will have not two or three values. It can have 20, 30, 40, 50, 100, 500, 1,000. Only that. I mean, the limited values is not possible in numeric. Categorical, yes, you can have a limited values. You can add a region to it. 3 regions or 4 regions: central, east, south, and west. 4 regions. This is called as stacking information inside any particular chart. You can add a region. So stacked bar chart and stacked column chart. Right. So for today, we have just discussed about basic visualization, understanding of data, understanding of data type. Once you load any particular data, how do I understand whether the data type is correct, whether it is correctly understood by the Power BI or not? And though maybe you people are aware, any application which has been developed, that application runs on a particular engine. There is a background engine. You may not be able to view it with your eyes, but there is a background architecture, there is a background engine for it. That engine for Power BI is called as a Vertipack engine. Vertipack engine. A person who is very pro in Power BI only knows this Vertipack engine. There is architecture behind it. Right? Every application, every tool has a background architecture. Same is the case with Power BI. Any reporting tool or any tool which you consider, there is a background architecture. How is it developed? How the information will flow? What is the engine on which this application is working? That is called as Vertipack engine. In Vertipack engine, there are sub components. There are how the data is stored. There are many other ways you have to understand this Vertipack engine. But just remember the name that Power BI uses Vertipack engine in the background.
So it help this Wordpack engine helps to visualize the data in the Power BI.
Vertipack engine has to, sorry, I missed that part.
So how does it helps to visualize the data in the Power BI?
Okay, see, visualization, Vertipack engine, visualization is very straightforward. The visuals will help you. Vertipack engine will help you to transform the data, to move the data, to store the data. That is where the Vertipack engine works. Now, how does it visualize? It's an architecture. I mean, if I go on explaining Vertipack engine, it will take one single day. So on the very first day, if you understand all these points, you'll forget half of it. We will discuss Vertipack engine. Just understand that there is an engine called as Vertipack engine. We will try to discuss how the information is stored, what all sub components are there in Vertipack engine, and how does it process the data. Any questions on what we discussed? Any questions? Maybe with respect to bar chart, column chart, X, Y, legend. Now there are other components also. What are these components? See, whenever I hover on any of the bar, there is a window which is giving you values, right? This window is called as a tooltip, and Power BI default supports tooltips. Default. In any visual you use, there are tooltips. So there is an additional tooltip also here. If you want to create your own tooltip, this is your tooltip, the white box which is it is opening tooltip, which is displaying the information. But if you want to add some additional information to that tooltip, these are called as tooltips. Like if I hover on this, see it is showing you segment which is in the y-axis. It is showing you region which is in the legend, and it is showing you sum of sales which is in the x-axis. But I would also like to show which category of information is it. There is a category also, right? But I would not like to get that category. See, unless you add category in the visual, you will not be able to see in the tooltip, right? Tooltip will display with information which is available in that visual. But if I want to display category also, you just have to drag that category to tooltip. It is displaying you what category is it. And see, there is a disadvantage also. It will not display all the categories. It is only displaying the first category. So where to use additional tooltip for different visuals, there are different functionalities. So tooltip, I've just shown you what is tooltip. We haven't understood how the tooltip works, but tooltip is what it is. I mean, whenever you hover your cursor on any particular visual, any particular partition data, it will show you that white box. It is called as tooltip. You can create your own customized tooltips also. In any reporting tool, you can create your customized tooltips as well. Same is the case with Power BI. You can customize, you can add a visual inside a tooltip as well. That's how flexible the Power BI is. You can add your own visual. Because tooltips is what? It's all the data which is written. No, you can add a visual also. Fair. Any questions on whatever we have discussed? Either everyone understood what I've mentioned or what I've explained, or may not have understood anything. That is the two cases. Okay, fair. I assume that everyone understood what we discussed. First, if you are learning Power BI, right, it might look very easy. It is an easy product, but going further, you have to scale up. Scale up in the sense new features are there, right? We always assume that Power BI is just drag and drop. It's almost drag and drop, but there are few additional components which you have to understand. Like tooltip is one of them. There are drill ups, drill downs, drill throughs, cross connect reports. Many options are there. I guess someone was.
Ritesh, one thing. So
Anil.
while we're dropping, dragging and dropping the columns, I mean,
Hmm,
from the table, we
hmm.
have to acknowledge the right one in the x-axis and y-axis, right?
Yes, we have to acknowledge it.
Okay.
It's all about understanding what data type fits in which axis and to which visual. Right? In case of column, in y-axis, it's a numeric value, and x-axis, it's a categorical value. In case of bar, in y-axis, it's a categorical, and in x-axis, it's a numerical. So that's the primary difference.
Ritesh, I have one question.
Mhm.
Hi, Ritesh. Yeah.
It-
So I have downloaded the Power BI. I told you
Okay.
na, that I was facing
Ah,
the issue.
yeah.
So now I
Ah,
can able to download it. Now
okay.
my question is that in your screen, I can see the visualization and data, and under the data there are multiple categories, cities, and all. But when
Hmm.
I am clicking on the data, I'm not getting any options. So is it like when I'll get the CSV files or anything
Yeah.
in background, then only these will show.
Yes, yes. If you connect only data, only then the data tab will have the list of columns, the data set which you have connected.
Okay, so first I need to
Connect.
connect the data and
Yeah,
then only
connect.
the column. Okay.
Yes. Are you not getting this visualization tab towards right? Are you getting in the ribbon bar? Is it that case?
Yeah, yes, visualization I can able to see. The bars, columns, all are
Ah,
there. So
mhm.
these I can able to see. Only the data options were not there.
Okay, fair. Unless you connect any data, it would not give you the
Oh,
list of columns, the data set, the data types, all that.
okay.
Okay. Now, if anyone want to access this CSV file, I would be sharing it with the recordings, right? So just give me a moment. Now, the only thing which you have to do is, right, as you are accessing the recordings, let me just go back. So let's open this dashboard. By the time it opens, let me upload it in the backend. That is already a zip file which is uploaded. If you just full stack Power BI, the full stack Power BI course, if you just go to that in the modules option, there are two zip files which are available. You can download it. If you just click on the Superstore dataset, you'll get a download option. Download this file, unzip it, and you can connect it to the Power BI. Right. So modules, this is where you can download the files. You just have to expand these options. Right? There are categories, you have to expand this. And if you just want to check the recordings, you just have to go to sessions. In the sessions, you will get the recordings like 12th, 13th is there. Today's is still live. Once that is done, probably next 30 minutes or 1 hour maximum, you will get the recording available.
Okay, Ritesh, one more thing. Can you click on the SQL component and show me the version of that SQL?
Uh, you have to go to you joined with SQL, right? You have to go to the previous. See, there are different icons for different batches. So maybe for you, there is no free preview is not available for you folks. The one who have already enrolled with SQL, free preview is not there. You can explore the. Okay, just give me a moment. Probably, can you share your screen just once a moment? Okay, I'll stop
Okay.
sharing.
Yeah. No, the thing is that, now, Ritesh, when I'm trying to share it, like at a time, I won't be able. Right now, I'm logged in from phone. When I am trying to log in from my desktop, okay,
Okay, there are two things.
it is getting disconnected from phone. Okay, and now, in my desktop, the mic button is not enabled. So I need to check the settings and then only. Otherwise, I could not able to speak. So if you want, I can share my screen. However, I will not speak. You can just I can
Yeah,
hear your voice, but I can't able to speak.
sure, sure. That's fine. That's fine. Can you share your screen?
Yeah, then give me a minute. Give me a minute.
Yep. Now, by the time she shares the screen, anyone who has any questions with respect to this course or what would be covered, any questions? Now, just give me a second.
Hi, sir.
Hey, go ahead.
I have a small doubt about classes.
Hey, Vijay. Yes, yes, go ahead.
Yeah, after completing of this all the classes, we can listen after the completion of the course or else before only.
Which classes are you trying to say? The daily classes?
Yeah, no, after completing the classes, you are
Uh-huh.
keeping the recording classes in the that app, no?
Uh-huh. Uh-huh.
After
Every session you can listen. Okay. Okay. Let me clear that for you. How does it work? Just give me I'm sharing my screen. See, if you just go to any of the course, maybe you are attending either of the course. Let's go to the Ritu, just give me a moment. I'll complete them and then I'll give you the screen sharing option. Okay. Now, all your recordings, see, from the time you enroll, all your recordings, if you go to the sessions option, you can check your recordings at any point of time. For first 1 year, that means from the date of enrollment till the next 365 days, you will see the recordings totally free. Again, the question comes after 1 year, is it that we need to pay additional? No. We have kept an option that for next 1 year, you can check the recordings at any point of time, at any given point of time. Now, the reason why we kept it to 1 year, because we feel or we always emphasize that within 1 year, you should get into a good job. The same, whatever, maybe you have completed data engineering, data analytics, data science, Snowflake, Java, whichever course you're doing it from the KSR Institute, everyone should get into a good job, whatever course they have completed within 1 year. We assume that, right? But if you still want to check your recordings, right, somewhere you want to refer after 1 year, you just give a call to the KSR team that I want to see the recordings for lifetime. Maybe they like again extend it for 1 year. It is not that you have to pay any one single rupee after 1 year. No, you did not pay anything. For by default 1 year, we keep that filter. After 1 year, you can check it again, you can extend it again. You just have to call that this is the batch which I've attended, so and so batch. They'll only ask your name. There is a specific idea given to you behind that. They'll only expand that, they'll extend that ID. Right. And recordings can be checked at any point of time. There is one more additional catch which you have to understand is the KSR application can be accessed parallelly once or only on two devices, like two active logins. There is a difference between two logins and two active logins. What is two active logins? Like you are using a mobile application, this is one active login, and you are using a laptop or a desktop, this is second active login. You can use two devices. Now, someone will have a question that I have two or three laptops in my family. Sometimes I use one laptop, sometimes I use different laptop. You can log in on 10 laptops, but not all together on 10, right? Two active sessions. If you are not using a mobile or a desktop, log out and you can use one more application or one more device, different device to log in. So there should be only two active devices at a given point of time. If you are logging the third active device and you still keep the two active devices, your login will be locked. What happens if it is getting locked, unable to log in, maximum number of devices exceed that notification error it will throw. In that case, you just have to email support@datavision.com. What you have to email, this is my email ID on which I'm using the KSR website or application. Can you unblock it? Maybe within next 15-20 minutes, it will be unblocked. What is the email ID which you have to mention? The email ID which you can get from the website. Just scroll down. You will get an email ID, right? I'll go to contact. This one, support@datavision.com. Just email mentioning subject line, your name and email ID, unblock the device or unblock the login. And see, please do not use third active device. Use two. I'm saying that if you're not using any device, right? If you have completed learning something on one device, log out. You can use one more device at a point, any point of time. You can log in on 10 devices, 50 devices. The only thing is two active devices at a point of time. If the third active device gets login, all the devices will be locked out. Right. So if you want to unlock it, it's a very easy process still. And we are not saying that we will not unlock it. It is an easy process. The only thing is you have to wait for 15-20 minutes or maybe half an hour. You just have to email support@datavision.com. You will get that account unlocked.
Sir, but I'm logging in two devices. One is phone and one is laptop. And
Mhm.
sometimes the phone the logging out, sir. Again,
Mhm.
I'm logging into
Why are you
the
logging
phone.
two devices? That's the question, right? If you're using a laptop, go with laptop. If you're using a mobile, go with mobile. And see, we have got some cases also. Cases in the sense we have got a request that I
In
want
the
to log
phone,
in three
then
devices.
sir,
Go ahead, go ahead. You have a question.
in sometimes while checking in the phone, it was logging out. Again, I'm logging in the phone.
See, the question is again what I'm trying to say. If you're logging in two devices, it will again confuse you at some point of time. Okay, if there is something wrong with your laptop, then you can log in both the devices. That's fine. Wrong in the sense you are not able to listen in the laptop, your speaker is not working, your mic is not working, you may not be able to ask a question. In that case, you can log in. But I would always suggest you to use one login at a time because see, 2 3 devices, it will again confuse you. Now, Ritu, just give me one more minute. See what else would be covered, right? This that non-technical exposure which I've mentioned clearly, I'll be I mean, most of these things would also be covered along with the above components which I've clearly mentioned. Now, I had a question from Rima that nowadays many individuals aspire to become data analyst, become okay as a related courses. Will there be sufficient demand for data analyst? Okay, fair. Very good question. Now, you take any job application, and this is for India. I'm not sure about the other countries. This is for India. Same is the case with US now. You take any job application, maybe an government job application. There will be, if there are 10 openings, there will be 10,000 people applying for it. Does it mean that if there are 10 openings, there are 10,000 people applying, you yourself will get a negative impact? No, I'll not do. I'll not be getting selected. There is no, you can say, an open position in India where there won't be any competition, not even a single position. Wherever you go, there is a competition. Fair. Now, the question is, how do you give a justification for it? Again, see, I try to take many interviews. Even I'm part of a team where I hire people as well, right? I try to take interviews. There are two ways I identify a candidate. Sometimes a candidate answers 10 out of 10 questions. Sometimes a candidate answers 5 out of 10 questions. I might select this and I might keep this profile aside. Sometimes. Why? The way this guy answers 5 questions, right? Giving some examples, understanding the tool, this is how you should do, these are all the options. The way of explanation matters. The 10 questions which I've asked the first candidate, he have only answered one line question or one liner, like what is bar chart? Bar chart is left to right. No, you shouldn't answer that way, right? You should give a justification. Where do we use it? What kind of data is given to it? So for a Power BI, especially for a data analyst, if there are 100 people, shortlisting out of 100 people, if I only give certain MCQs in the sense you should solve within 2 minutes, I can filter only 10 to 15 candidates. The other 85 candidates will go away. They only know Power BI, it's just a drag and drop tool. Not only Power BI, any other reporting tool, just drag and drop. No. Go behind that tool, understand what this tool is. If you know only 50% of the tool very perfectly, 50% okay, still you can learn it. But if you're learning only Power BI, see, most of the people think that if you do some visualization, it's only data analyst. No, you have to do unit testing, you have to do data modeling, you have to manage the reports, how many users are consuming it. You have to make sure the report is within the data limits also. These are all the additional components you have to manage as a data analyst or a BI engineer. This is all done with respect to a Power BI dev only. People only know that data analyst has many people available in the market. Yes, that is correct. But out of that 100 people, if you consider, 80 percentage of the people are only just basic knowledge folks. And I still say, since my first batch in KSR since last 4 years, I'm still saying the same thing. Whatever Power BI evolves, still it will take 5 to 10 more years to understand each and every component to each and every individual. So you should know every depth of any tool, not only Power BI, any tool. And if you know depth, that means you are part of that first 10, 15, 20, or 25 percentage. Only that many percentage of people knows it. The other 70, 80 percentage of people are just high level understanding. If you go through second level of interview, third level of interview, they automatically will get filtered out, though they clear the first round. Right. And same is the case, right? Only one position, 50 people have applied it. I mean, that's fine, right? How to filter it out, how to be part of that one open position, that is our responsibility. So that you have to grasp it. Hmm. Ritu, can you just go ahead and share your screen? I'll stop sharing. Open the website where you can see the recordings and all that part. Uh, no, the third, yeah, just click on login. Yeah, that's fine. Click on login. Sign in. Hmm. Click on this. This is a free preview one. Yeah, just click on it. Just click on it. Let's see. Download this 344 MB file. You click on this download option right here, blue color download. Yeah, just click on it. It has started downloading, it seems. Yeah. No, your internet is slow, but it will take some time to download. Now, in the search bar, just go to the search bar below. Yeah. Mention apps apps. Apps. Now, default apps, go to default apps. No, no, not there. Default apps. In the settings option, default apps is there. Yeah. Click on default apps. Default apps, no. Oh, that's fine. That's fine. That's fine. You are into default apps, right? Just go back to the again search bar again. Go to the search bar again. Not there. You can close this. Go to, again, mention APPS apps. Add or remove a program. Add or remove a program. Yes, click on it. Now here in the search apps, mention MySQL. You uninstalled it, right? It seems you have uninstalled it. Okay. Now just go to your local drive C. Local drive C. This PC. Yeah. Open this. Now you have to search where is that MySQL installed, either in the program files or program files 86, and delete that folder before installing the one which you're downloading now, the zip one. Can you go to program files? Can you go to program files? Let's try. The one above. Yeah. If there is any option called as MySQL, yeah, search it. No. These are all the other files. SQL Server is different. I guess this is not there. You can just go back and search in the drive C at the start only. Go back. Yeah. Windows SSD, that particular, yeah. Here. No, here. Yeah. Just go inside it and you can search it here. Go inside that C drive. Then you can search MySQL, not SQL, only MySQL, MySQL. Somewhere there would be a folder where you have to delete that folder. It would take some time. And see, it's always important to understand whenever you're installing any application, right? It will give you some options. Where will it install? We always click on next, and we continue, right? You just think, where is that file installed? If you remember that, it is very easy to go to that folder and delete that file and then reinstall it. Right. So you just have to search this. Probably it would be in the program files 86 or maybe in the users. Somewhere you will get it. You delete that file and you reinstall this. This would work for sure. Fair. Let me start sharing my screen. Anyone who has any questions with respect to this course, please feel free to reach out to our team. How do I enroll? This is the third session. We still have two more sessions, tomorrow and day after tomorrow. If you have any other questions, please write it down. We'll try to discuss in the next two sessions. I'll clarify more doubts also. And if there are anything which we have to discuss additionally, how to check recordings, I've already shown you clearly that you need to register on the website and check the recordings. Anyways, first 5 sessions are streamed on YouTube. If you just visit the KSR YouTube channel as well, go to the live option there. Though the sessions have been completed, in the live option, you will get the already recorded or live streamed sessions again. You can go through that video as well.
Ritesh, I have a basic question. Like,
Uh-huh.
what is the best tool for the visualization? There are two tools. One is Power BI, second is Tableau. What
There
is
are
the
many tools, not only Power BI, not only Tableau, there are many tools. Fair. You have asked a question. We had a comparison. Is this your first session?
no? This is my second session, but the most of the company are using Power BI as well as most company using Power BI as well as Tableau. So it bit confused to define which tool should I learn first.
Okay, cool. Now, see, the question is, I'm not sure are you a working professional? Maybe few questions from my end.
Yes, sir.
You are working into data analytics only or some other stream?
Yeah, I'm working in the field of the analytics.
Okay, so are you using Tableau or are you using Power BI now?
No, I'm not using both tool. I'm I'm a analyst which is only using SQL.
Okay, maybe you're more a kind of database developer, kind of that
Yeah,
position.
kind of.
Yeah. Now, in that case, see, we just had a comparison with Tableau and Power BI. We had a comparison with Power BI and Click, and we had a comparison with Power BI and MicroStrategy. See, one thing I can say, the primary difference companies are adopting is nowadays everyone who is moving from different tools to Power BI. I've seen few cases where people moving out from Tableau to Power BI also. Yes, there are still companies which still use Tableau, but the market presence, you can easily check, right? Market presence, people are moving out to the Power BI because easier, cheaper, user interface is easy, and access mechanism is also easy as compared to Tableau. So you decide which is good tool. With all this comparison, we always leave it to the individual to understand whether to go with Tableau or Power BI. And as I've said, right, with all this comparison, people always emphasize to move to Power BI. Right? That's the reason we always start with Power BI. Rarely you will see any Tableau sessions in any institute, not only KSR, any institute. And that's the case, right? We started Power BI back in 2020, 20 or 21. It's been more than 5 years now. When the Power BI was not even dominating, we started at that point of time. So still we are continuing the sessions. Tableau, rarely people will go through any new sessions. Yes, Tableau is the second most popular, but there is a huge gap between first and second also. And there is no competition between 3, 4, 5, and 6, the other ways, right? The other ranking tools or competitors which are available.
Okay, sir.
Any other questions? Anyone?
Is this any way we can access the Power BI through the Mac? I don't have the Windows laptop as of now. I have to arrange the Windows laptop for the learning Power BI.
You're using Mac.
Yeah.
There is no way. You have to download some virtual operating system temporarily. You know how to download virtual operating system?
I will go through the YouTube for the virtual.
It's very easy, right? You can download some temporary virtual operating system where you can install a Power BI. But the only thing is, it will occupy a good amount of space on your laptop, the Mac,
Okay, I
because
will arrange. I will.
virtual machine will take some RAM and your Power BI will take some additional RAM. That's the reason. If you have any Windows laptop, maybe with your friend or someone, you can give it for some practice purpose. You can get it. If not, the only option, as I've said, temporary virtual operating system you can download.
Okay, got it. As well as there is one more question in Power BI, I guess, which is the most important part? Like DAX is most important or relationship is most important? I already learned Power BI, but I only learned visualization view.
That's what I say, right? Every time people will always say that I only know visualization. That is not Power BI. So you know what is x-axis, what is y-axis, what is legend, how do you interrelate that axis also, the data types.
Yes, I already know. I had take 2 to 3 interview, but I got rejected just because of I don't have the much knowledge about the Power BI, like how to do the DAX calculation better.
Yeah. So this all comes in the advanced Power BI. This all comes in the advanced Power BI. That's what I said, right? Any open position, there will be 10, 50, 20, 100, maybe 500 people who have applied for it. The filtration happens on the concepts, one who knows end to end. So we will be covering all these, right? It is a part of this course.
Okay, sir. Okay.
See, only getting cleared in interview, and if you don't know the other once you get into company, if you're not able to solve what is given to you, then there is something wrong there as well, right? For clearing interview, I would say, yeah, you should know DAX, you should know advanced Power BI. You might clear, but once you get into company, if you're not able to understand the first part and then you're directly jumping to advanced, it is not useful. So you should know end to end. Any tool, not only Power BI, any tool. Fair. If there are any other questions, maybe you can please note it down or write it down. We can again connect back on tomorrow, right? We can ask, I mean, you can ask that questions tomorrow and we can again get it sorted, right? So assuming that there are no questions and we're almost way ahead of the time. Thank you, everyone. Have a very good day and let's connect back tomorrow.